seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, guys? It's Clutch and Essam here, back in another video. And for today's video, I'm talking about the Houston Texans. And as we know, the NFL draft is tomorrow. It's in what? By the time this video is up, in like less than 30 hours. So the NFL draft is coming like right away. Like by the time we know it, it's already gonna be over. It's already gonna be Sunday. We're gonna be looking at the draft, how the team went. We're gonna be looking at undrafted free agents. It's gonna be a very exciting weekend and upcoming 3-4 days. But for today's video, I want to explain a scenario, or not really explain, but just lay out the, thought process or lay out the possibility of a scenario that the Houston Texans could maybe endure. And this scenario is getting both Will Anderson and CJ Stroud. And when you hear that, everybody's going to say, hey, isn't CJ Stroud probably going to go top 3, top 4? How would you get him? How would he get both Will Anderson and CJ Stroud? And while, yes, that could be very, very true, a lot of people could see CJ Stroud having a Justin Fields-like slide where he falls into maybe the top, the bottom 10, or not bottom 10, but outside of the top 10 or around 9 range. And personally, I don't think that's going to happen. I think CJ Stroud's a phenomenal prospect. I think he's going to end up still going top 5. Somebody's going to either trade up for him or maybe Indy takes him or something like that. Or at worst, he's probably going to go 8, in my opinion. But in this scenario, I'm going to say, what if the Texans take Will Anderson Jr. at number 2? They solidify their franchise defensive player to go alongside Derek Stingley Jr. And then they call up an old friend of theirs. Or Nick Caserio calls up an old friend of his, at least. And he calls up the Las Vegas Raiders. He calls up, as we all know, he worked with the head coach of the Raiders back in New England. I would assume they have a fairly good relationship. So maybe there's something right there. He says, hey, let's make a trade. Let's make a draft day trade. I know you probably don't want to stick around at number 7. I know you probably want to trade back due to the value of the player you're going to get. And you probably want to acquire some picks. So let me give you number 33. Second from next year, or something like that. I'm not really sure what the whole trade would look like. I don't think it would cost a 2024 first. I think for sure it would definitely be a 2024 second. I just really can't see a 2024 first to move up, 5 spots. It is a kind of a big move up. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to see them getting a 2024 first, considering not many teams want to trade up and the value isn't there. And it's not like the Las Vegas Raiders are targeting a quarterback or anything. They would probably just take the best cornerback available or best tackle available. At least that's what all of the rumors have said. So for Las Vegas, I guess it kind of makes sense. Recoup some of the draft picks, recoup some draft picks at least, get a couple of seconds, get maybe a third, some mid-round picks, maybe a player. I'm not sure who we could trade. We really don't have much, but find a way to get to number 7 and pick up CJ Stroud as well. Is it unrealistic? I don't think it's necessarily unrealistic, but is it unlikely? Probably. I think the realistic levels of this, I feel like is very, possible. I mean, again, Nick Caserio does have a relationship with the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. And, I'm sure he would like to get a deal done. Las Vegas probably doesn't want to stick around that spot, considering they don't want to take a quarterback. I feel like number 7 may be too high to take a corner. Or maybe not too high, but the value-wise, they probably wouldn't want to take a cornerback there. They'd rather trade back. Maybe get a Joey Porter Jr., or maybe get a Broderick Jones at number 12, Vegas' case, and then we take C.J. Stroud at number 7. But yeah, this is a fun little hypothetical right there. We would get a quarterback of the future, number 7. We would get our franchise defensive player, or defensive franchise player to match along with Derek Stingley. Both SEC talents, both SEC caliber players. Of course, we know how much Nick Caserio loves his SEC players. So both of the top players on our defense would be from SEC schools, one from LSU and one from Alabama. Then our quarterback coming from the Big Ten, Ohio State, C.J. Stroud. He has that prototypical size that Nick Caserio has been, I don't know if proven is the right word to say, but the prototypical size that Nick Caserio has, history has shown that Nick Caserio has liked. I don't think Nick Caserio's ever drafted a quarterback or been tied to a quarterback that's under 6'3" until now. I think with Case Keenum. I think Case Keenum's the shortest quarterback that he's ever really been around with in the same organization. With New England, I don't think they really had a quarterback under, I believe it was 6'3" or 6'4". Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think it's 6'3". And then getting a prototypical quarterback like C.J. Stroud, size, more of a, I don't want to say pocket passer, but he is kind of more of a pocket passer than any of the quarterbacks in this draft. But yeah, that's a fun little scenario that I personally like, especially if you don't have to give up 2024 first. When it comes down to it, I'm sure Las Vegas would ask for it because, 5 spots in the draft is kind of a lot, especially if you're moving back into the top 10, but maybe they see 33 as very valuable, and then a second from next year is very valuable as 2. But yeah, what are y'all's guys' thoughts on that? I guess little scenarios, last hypothetical. Again, I don't think it's unrealistic, but I do think it's unlikely. There's a difference between those two meanings. Unlikely as in it's probably not going to happen, but very, very possible. And unlikely as in, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. But yeah, again, let me know y'all's guys' thoughts down below. Imagine pairing up Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud, coming out with those 2 players in this draft. I feel like the big part of the fan base would be happy. Probably everybody gets what they want. Everybody wants their defense player, and everybody wants their quarterback, and boom, you get both in that scenario. But yeah, it's been Clutchy Entertainment, and I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.